really wanted to create pieces that would draw you in because they're intricate and have a lot of textural and imagery, and they have a delicacy. So when people are drawn in and then they start to see what's in the pieces, that would trigger that conversation within themselves or with each other. The activity of moving different clays together and experimenting and creating situations that most people try to avoid in the rules of ceramics. You know, you work with one kind or you work with another, and you work within the temperature range of your kilns, and I like to move out of it by interesting combinations. So the porcelain has a higher density and a larger shrinkage rate, and when you combine that with a heavily sandy clay body, and it doesn't want to marry because the shrinkage is pulling and the tensions are really high. Sometimes I do fire up to 6 times in order to create that marriage, and yet there'll still be cracking and fissures, and the cracking and fissures and the flow of the porcelain contrasting with the hardness and the staticness of the clay body that I might be using has such a interesting way of moving together. That's my challenge, and I really enjoy that. So it's a sort of more experimental, and yet it's intentional, and it has life that's brought out by the fire that creates warping. And that warping can then lead you into this place of accepting how the fire wanted to make the piece, which can lead to a lot of dripping, applications of glazes to increase the amount of textural quality of the finish. The thought around what was I going to express, and I wanted to express something that was directly related to Haida Gwaii. I started to think about where I came from combined with what was important to me. It started in play, and it became a raven, and it was just a playful large raven that ended up being cast into a mold that I ended up making more of. So I wanted to connect my personal history with the island in a global way, with what is going on with the world and how we're addressing some of the issues that need to be addressed. My images are around the world images. They're the collective grief that a lot of people feel around habitat loss and species loss. I really felt the need to say something with my clay instead of just making pots. I wanted to create an opportunity for people to look, discuss, and have an impact of some sort. So that was why I called it The Conversation. I wanted to honor this white raven and say we need to be honoring the species that we have left and be giving them far more consideration.